When we look at the Legacy Builder program was, I have my car rental company where I rent cars to Uber and Lyft drivers. I've been driving Uber for like 11 years. So I know everything that us drivers go through. So I said, I want to start renting cars to Uber Lyft drivers. So I did that. But I also knew that business can be up and down and may not last. And I understood digital marketing is where the future is going and where people are going. And I want to make sure I have a skill set that I can use just in case the business may be, going down. And so I saw this program, how to earn $900 daily. I said, daily, 900? It brought me back to the days when I was making 100% commission with another company. And I said, I had to get in this just because it gave me an opportunity to make big commissions from a skill set that I was looking to learn from anyway, which is digital marketing.
That is so good. So after being inside the program, what was something that you have learned that you definitely didn't expect to learn?
Oh my God. Where do I start and where do I end? So the cool thing I learned was the first thing I learned was the power. I knew about the power of building a list, but you showed me how to build a 2,000 people list for free.
Mm.
Most people are trying to sell you a system to build a list. You said everything I do here should come organically when you're not paying for ads, you're not paying for this, not paying for that. That is a breath of fresh air, one. And then you said, I'm gonna show you how to build a 2,000 person list for free with this system. I said, what? Because by the time I build a 2,000 person list, my income will be extraordinary where I can afford to pay for a auto response system, pay for whatever. But you don't ever want us doing that. But that was the one thing that I learned, that you can actually build a 2,000 person list for free. Okay, and then you taught us how to build out our system the right way, where our emails are not going to go to spam because we had to tie our website to the email and do it properly. So you showed us everything to do. You showed how to build a digital business the right way, right? The most effective way. And that's what I learned and I appreciated from you from start. From start one.
So good. So have you had a big difference, like learning how to build an email list? Has that helped your business?
That's no, to help my business. And it just helped my business with Legacy Builder. It helped my business with my other businesses, right? You see, the skill set that you gave me here, I applied it to my car rental company, my life insurance program, and now my travel program. I literally put the same strategies inside of those programs to where my website is tied to my email. And when I send out an email, it has everything I need to have to make me look like a professional on the internet.
Oh my gosh, I love what you just said because you literally just shared how all of the opportunities the program unlocked. It's not just this right here, but you've been able to take the skills that you've learned and apply that into your other businesses. Can you go into a little bit more detail about that?
Yeah, sure. So the cool thing about understood, I said, okay, what we're selling is the education that taught me how to level up my own business. So people always ask on the call, like, so what are we selling? I get to sell the college that taught me and gave me my degree, right? My degree in digital marketing. So now I get to sell the college that taught me how to do digital marketing at a high level, right? Now that I have the skill set, now I get to apply the skill set to my businesses and then teach my people how to do it for their businesses. To the point in my community, I have a classroom where I say, come if you bought the Legacy Builder program from me, then we get to level up in our classroom, which is we call it's called I won't tell it on here, so but
No,
just
no,
know.
tell it on here because I'm going to actually share it in the description if they want to check it out.
Okay, cool. So it's the execution domination, right, class, right? And so in that class, when you join us, it's elite, oh sorry, it's elite. It's called elite marketing domination. So once you buy the Legacy, you come into my community. The elite marketing domination. Once you get the membership, you get to go in the elite marketing domination, and we get to meet every week, and we get to use the same skill sets that we use in Legacy Builder to build our primary businesses. Okay, that's where I help you get clear on how to put those skills to work for your primary business. Okay, that's what's so powerful about the skill set, and that it gave me an avenue to help other people lock this in for their business, and I make a residual income from helping them apply what you taught me in the program. So you open up another revenue stream for me because most people don't know how to take what you teach and put it towards their business. Now I get to teach them how to do that. It's phenomenal.
Oh, so good. So did you ever think you would have your own community prior to the Legacy Builders program?
No, like that was so far from my mind. And it's so crazy because even people in our community that we're in, they're like, I never thought I'd be doing this. And you're like, yeah, you got to stretch your imagination. Just do it. And when you said that, it changed it to me. I said, why not me? And why not now? Right? You gave it, and this what made it easy for me because you said, I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to be able to view your stuff. That's why the Legacy Builder program that you have, with digital business, with DGC, right? The $97 one where we get to talk to you personally and get meet with you once a week, guys. That is so priceless, y'all, because she gets to take time with us and she get to see what our school look like. So with your guidance, I felt even more comfortable to go ahead and start my community because I knew I had somebody that I admired who's done it on a high level, be able to look at what I'm doing and be able to give me the proper education to make sure it's successful proof. That makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. So, what do you feel has changed the most in your life, in your business, since you've learned these digital marketing skills?
My positioning, right? I came from being just, somebody who's looking to learn to somebody of authority, right? With people who respect what I'm doing, and I respect what I'm doing because now I know what I'm doing with the education that you shared. Those that apply this, and the fact that you have a 90-day run every 90 days, I get to glean off of your success and be able to be the right copycat. They say, if you're gonna be a copycat, copy the right cat. And Michelle, you are the right cat. Okay, you are the right cat to copy. And I'm telling you guys, she's giving us. If you're watching this and you are a legacy builder, you know she's giving us the blueprint every single 90 days to do it, and she's consistent. And if you want to know how she did it, in her special program, the $97 one, where you get to speak with her once a week, we get to understand how she did it, how it works on a high level, so we can implement it in our businesses. And so this is what's so powerful about being connected to people like Michelle, right? I always say it pays to pay to be in the right rooms for two reasons. Because everybody in that room paid to be there. That means they understand the value that they're paying for. One, and that those people are high level people because they are willing to invest in themselves to grow themselves. So not just getting access to Michelle, but I'm getting access to that network of like-minded individuals, right? And so
Huge.
it pays to pay to be in the right rooms. And Michelle, one of the rooms that you want to pay, I pay over, right? Because the value that I'm getting supersedes the cost that I'm paying, right? And I get to apply that same thing in my school and I get to ask Michelle, hey, should I do like this? Should I do like that? My first course, right? My first little thing that came from in that community, right? I showed my community. They're like, oh my God, I love your covers. And they're like, man, that's awesome. Did you do it yourself? And I'm like, yeah, I did it. And I said, maybe I should do a training. And they're like, maybe you should. And then I acted on it. I said, oh yeah, we're gonna
And
make this
I
happen.
bought it.
And this is what I'm saying, guys. Not just you, not the fact that you bought it, you were the first one to buy it. Okay. I was like, I said, let me show you the time. It's like Beyonce buying a ticket to your show. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? So the fact that she bought it, one, the first one to buy it, and then she said, you can go ahead and share that inside of the community. And I was like, wait a minute. Not only did she buy it, she also allowed me to share it in her community. And from that, we had tremendous success. So that's the power of being in the right rooms, adding value to the room, and being a great learner, right? I love to be an excellent learner from great teachers, right? And they say, in order to be a great leader, you must follow great leaders, right?
Mhm.
And so I followed a great leader so that I can become a great leader that people can follow me. And so I know I probably talked a whole lot, but I just wanted to let you know that what you're doing has so much value to the unknown eye, ear, and mind. And then when you give us that little push, like, yo, y'all need to start your community. And I never thought to do that. But because I did that, so many lives is tied to my success, or so many lives is tied to me doing my community. Like I always say, you deserve to be successful because somebody's success is tied to your success, right? You deserve to be successful because somebody's success is tied to your success. And so
Mhm.
who am I to not become successful? Because that's going to help somebody else become successful. And if Michelle didn't become successful, I wouldn't have a group. I would have been making this money off the legacy builder, and we would be having this interview right now. So once again, I thank you for being moving in your success so that others can be successful because of your success.
Ah, love that. So, did you have any doubts or fears before you purchase a Legacy Builders program?
At the point when I decided to purchase the legacy builder program, I was at a place where if it's now, it's now or never, right? It's like because There's nothing out here on the internet that was giving me the opportunity to make $900 daily payments, right? At the level for selling a digital product that teaches you how to become a digital master, a digital professional, a digital marketing professional, right? There's nothing. I mean, I've seen other programs, but they were low level, right? And you had to sell like multiple things. Like you speak many times about these smaller products or small margins. You got to work 10 times harder to make the kind of income that we're making here from doing the same work that's required.
Mhm.
And like it doesn't just because you're making more, I mean you got to do way more to get that. Matter of fact, you do less because the value is there. So when you share it, and all we're doing is sharing it and getting in front of as many people as possible, and because you did the heavy lifting, right? Of how it works. And these calls that we're having right now tonight, at the time we recorded, we're having a call tonight where we get them to the call, she presents, and then she follows up and close them out. And people like myself will go and share our experiences that will help people with belief systems. But to answer that question, normally I would have reserves, but this one I was like, you know what? I need to learn the skill set. One, it's only $900. That's how I tell myself it's only $900, right, to get in, right? But then I get access to all of what she's done. And that's basically what I didn't have a reserve of buying the product because I knew this was a value add. And so, but if somebody, yeah, I just knew it was a value add for me. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, the weekly webinars, what you're talking about tonight. How do you feel if you think about people inside the Legacy Builders program, how do you feel our weekly webinars can help them grow their business?
I don't think I understand that most people aren't doing what you're doing, right? Most people aren't presenting for you. Most people aren't the expert. You got the creator and expert doing the presentation for you to make sales. That's one, right? So the value in that alone is speechless. But then you teach us how to market it inside the emails. When, what days, what to do first, second, third, fourth, leading up to the event, and then after the event, what to do and send. So the value in what you do and how important this is what makes this to work so well because you're not doing it 2 or 3, 4 times a day. You're doing it once a week or whenever you do it, but it gives it time to market, promote it, and gives somebody an opportunity to see what we saw, and they get to ask you the questions. Why? Come on, man! Like they get to ask the expert the question that we may not be able to answer, and when they like or hear the answer to this question from you or from the people that you bring up, and they make a decision, that decision comes back to the person who marketed to them. That's the
Mm.
power of leverage and power of digital marketing. So this right here, it speaks value because you help us make sales. Like the program have a live component where it helps you make sales. That's priceless right there. I mean,
And keep 100% of the profit.
and keep 100% of the profits. Oh my goodness. And then we leveled up with the $1,400 program. So, yeah, my gee Louise. Yeah, like what? Uh, where they do that at? That's what we say. Where they do that at, right? So, yeah, I'm super grateful because I've been in a lot of businesses, a lot of companies, and you don't have the CEO or the creators of the project willing to do these keyword willing to do these calls on the behalf of everyone and give them 100% of the commissions. So and the cool thing about that is because she's not just talking it from it, she's also have her own guests that she's inviting to it. So she's doing the same thing we're doing to make the income that we're making. Duh. So if she's saying that keep 100% commission, I know how to get my people. I know how to. I'm doing the work that I'm telling you how to do. So I have people that's coming in on my behalf too. So I'm also presenting to my people that I'm also recruiting. Super fire. So yeah, I'm just like, it don't get no better than that, Miss Michelle. I'm trying to tell you, girl, this is off the chain. Lord, baby, Jesus, I love it.
So, what would you say to somebody researching the Legacy Builders program?
Oh yeah, awesome. I like researchers, right? Because I call them the green personality, right? They want to know all the deep, they want to have their T's and dots and I's crossed and all that cool. By all means, do it. But there's another type of researching where you actually get in and you research from the inside, right? You can research all day from the outside and have assumptions and analogies and all these things going on. But the true research will happen when you are inside it and going through it for yourself to say, okay, this is the inside research, and from the inside research, this is 100% bull crap or 100% amazing, right? And so anybody who's researching, you can research you till you blue in the face. But I would truly say, if you really want to research this authentically, go ahead and get in. Go ahead and get in, research from the inside, and if at worst case you can write that off as tax write off if you don't like it. But I will always say the real research happens on the inside because that's where you really get to see the whole system open up and give you the value that you looking for. That makes sense.
Oh, perfect sense. Jeff, thank you so much for taking the time doing this interview. I love your story. You know, when you're coming from, you're already an entrepreneur and how you added this as well. And you see the value in learning digital marketing. When people truly understand, you know, we live in a digital world, understanding digital marketing is will future-proof your life and your business. So any last words you want to leave them with?
Listen, I say, and this is one thing I would say about Michelle. She is not a dinosaur in the game. When I say dinosaur, she's always willing to level up and keep current of what's going on in the digital world. Right? We know the power of AI. And what did she do? She didn't say, "Oh, okay, AI's cool, but this is where we at." No, no. She said, "Okay, how can we level up the program by including AI?" And so she not only just included AI, she also expanded the ability to have multiple languages to where we can sell to multiple people without having to understand the language. She has a whole program that specifically for Spanish speaking people, XYZ, which is a huge population that's getting into the space. She didn't only just say, okay, we're going to get a translation, that she got a whole community, okay, of Spanish speaking people. And this is what you want to when you get a program, you want to be able to have a program that grows as the world grows, so that we're not obsolete. This product is not an obsolete product. It actually loves to be on brand, on time, and with the times. And that's what's so powerful about the Legacy Builder program. We're really building a legacy, and she's also keeping up with legacies, right? She want to make sure that our legacy continue to grow as the times grow, and that's a very valuable. We didn't have to tell her to do that. She understood it and she implemented it. She understood it, started researching, and put it into play. And so the last thing I gotta say is when you're looking at an opportunity to be great, look at an opportunity that's going to help you level up and make money and really get you out the rat race or get you a place. Or maybe you may have money, but you want to 10x break that ceiling that you're currently at. When I look at a program like Legacy, it gives me the opportunity to make big money with big commissions, keep up with the times, keep up with the Joneses, and also dominate in the marketplace that's being out here that's growing. So I always say this: be great because you already are great. Because Michelle is simply great, and becoming part of this program is where we get to become great. That's what I got to say.